Step here, and today we're going to be doing another reaction video, 2 in a row. Top 15 more true scary stories that will make you cringe, which is kind of stupid. But let's watch.
Number 15.
Oh god. So we're going to be watching this. The channel and the link of the video will be in the description down below. So if you guys want to see that, you guys have to go to this and watch the rest of the video. I'm going to probably be skipping some of the parts. So also the reason I'm doing 2 reaction videos in a row is because in the next 4 days there's going to be only one game coming out, because I am doing the same thing on Plague just like I did with the grandma disease, except this time it's a different disease. And we're going to do, remember, same thing as last time, settings and transmissions, symptoms, and I forgot the other one. And then we're going to gameplay, which is 4 videos in a row, and I'm about to make that right after this, so because I got to make a video today. So let's get right into this.
I moved to my dad's when I was 10 and didn't know anyone in the area except for the family my dad was friends with. Single mom with 3 kids. Luckily, there was a girl a couple years older than me, 12 at the time I met her, and we got to know each other a little over a couple years. We weren't close, but we ended up having the same friends. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother. They happened to be in the house alone because my friend's mom was at work, which is where this gets terrifying and sad. Her mother had been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well. She found out her sister was in a mental institution and was let out recently. The night Rob is hanging out with my friend, they get a knock on the door. My friend thought it was just her mom. She knocks a certain way when coming in and answered it without thinking. Rob wasn't supposed to be there, and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. Wasn't her mom. It was the sister of the lady her mom was helping, and she figured out through talking to the sister where her family lived and her mom's working schedule. She came in, and this is where I don't know details, and I'm glad I don't. My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbors to call the police. The lady brutally murdered my friend a week from Christmas, decapitated her, and left her body naked in a bathtub, hid her head. They had to look through the presents, and I don't know where they found it, but they did. I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral. Number 14. I have a few paranormal events that happened all throughout my life. Most of them are pretty.
Dude. This is bad. I don't like paranoia. So we're going to skip 14. So we're only watching part 1, by the way.
And wanted to talk to me about God in prayer. My mom let him talk to me for whatever reason, and the guy actually just wanted to talk to me about Elf. This Canadian dude named Mitchell was obsessed with Elf, and somehow got a hold of our mailing address and sent me tons of Elf merchandise, coloring books, pencils, Elf everything. For some reason, my parents let him talk to me whenever he would call, because they bought into his God stuff and liked how he sent me Elf crap. This went on and off for about a year until he asked me if I had ever heard of John Wayne Gacy, the serial killer who dressed as Pogo the Clown and lured boys to his house where they were tortured before being murdered and buried in his crawl space. He told me who he was and that he had escaped him when Gacy tried kidnapping him when he was a kid. He told me I should tell my parents that they shouldn't trust strangers because you never know who they could really be talking to. I remember he didn't sound menacing when he said it, just matter of fact. Of course my parents freaked when I told them, and they changed numbers and called the police. They never really did anything since the guy did live in Canada by all accounts and hadn't really threatened me. Also keep in mind Mitchell somehow had our mailing address and knew exactly where we lived. We had plans on moving soon anyway though. Fast forward 10 years to about 2001. We live in a new house, a new state, everything unlisted. I'm now 15. What did we get in the mail? Yep, you guessed it, a fucking Elf coloring book. Number 12. When I was 9, my
What? Dude. That one is nuts. It goes up to 9, apparently. So we're gonna watch... So we're only watching part 1 for today. We'll watch part 2 next time. Whoa. How did they... I don't understand how we did get the new address. That's crazy. That is crazy.
My parents split up, and my dad rented a house in a pretty isolated part of town, surrounded by woods, couldn't see any neighbors. It was in a nice area, especially for kids. An old friend of his lived in the basement apartment. He was kind of a weird guy, super neckbeard, into mystic shit, and hit on my mom constantly when she and my dad were still together. Upstairs, my dad lived with Big Frank, a big teddy bear Viking guy who loved me and my little brother, and Barney, a very religious stagehand who also liked my brother and me a lot. For a while, when my brother and I came to visit, everything was cool. We'd run around into the woods and play games and stay up late and eat junk food. Slowly, I started to feel more and more creeped out whenever we were there. I'd run to my bed after turning the lights out, because every child knows the bed is the only place where you're safe. I constantly felt like there was something there. One night, my brother told me his closet door opened.
Dude, I really don't want to watch this now. I'm so gonna regret this. Oh. Huh. I'm gonna go 12. Oh crap, that's creepy. I'm gonna do 12 and 11, but that's it, because I am really freaked out. Oh my god. Wow. That other story took most of the time. Ooh. It's only been 4 minutes. Okay. If you got to this part of the video, in the comments below, type skunky.
Opened in the middle of the night. We didn't tell Dad, probably because he wasn't very good at listening to us back then, and we knew he couldn't take us seriously. Instead, we told Barney. Barney said he'd felt something evil in the house and he'd do something about it. When everyone else left the house,
Dude, I really don't want to do this. I already got one pass on the other paranormal one. Dude. Oh.
Barney sprinkled some holy water around, lit some candles, and said a few prayers. The house felt much less scary when we got back that evening, but it went right back to being creepy and awful by the next weekend. Until Dad moved out 5 years later, we just put up with it and pretended not to be scared. It's easy enough to put up with something creepy for a couple days at a time as long as nothing actually happens. A couple summers ago, I moved in with Dad and Stepmom. He got married a year after moving out of the house. One beautiful evening, we were sitting around playing a game and having a few beers when my stepmom brought up that house and how filthy it was because a bunch of bachelors lived there. We all laughed and talked about the old roommates and wacky things that happened while they lived there. Then I said, Bro and I were sure that place was haunted or something. He says his closet door opened in the middle of the night. I never saw anything weird, but God, that place was creepy. My dad nodded
Are you ready for the twist?
and said, Yeah, there was some kind of evil presence there. I never told you kids this, but I was pushed down the stairs a few times while going to the basement for laundry, and there was this one time I went into the kitchen and all our knives were stuck in the ceiling. Number 11.
Jesus, first off, that photo just scared me half to death. that actually didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would. I'm gonna be honest. I thought there'd be like some crazy twist. I might not watch more if this one's not bad. Like that one wasn't even bad. I'm gonna be honest. That one wasn't bad at all. I just made it out to be bad. What the heck? Okay. This one I can tell is gonna be bad because he's literally got a giant kitchen knife, steak knife or something.
The late 80s, early 90s. I was around 6 or 7 years old. I am at home with my sister, who is 14 or 15 at the time. We grew up in a small Texas town. Everyone knows everybody. We are home alone this particular night, and my folks let my sister babysit me frequently.
This is gonna be a break-in, isn't it? This one's gonna be a break-in.
We always got along due to our age gap. Anyway, it's about 8 p.m. in the winter. Deserts get pretty damn cold. So it is dark, and we are in the common room since that is where the TV was. Watching 60 Minutes or 48 Hours or hard copy or some shit. Those 1-hour news pieces on CBS that chronicle large crimes in depth. Trafficking, murders, kidnapping, and the like. Basically, a gritty Lifetime special. This one was a typical story. Guy next door that was quiet went on a rampage in his next door neighbor's house, mutilating them and kidnapping their young daughter. Well, the thing about our house common room is the door leading to the backyard was a large glass door on a wall of floor-to-ceiling windows. Nothing.
Oh, no, you're so retarded. Why would you get that house?
But blackness beyond it unless you have the backlight on. We did not. The front door is
Oh my god, you're dumb.
on the other side of the room with a small entryway.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Isn't that a little easy to break into? In the back door, especially. Thinking Five Nights at Freddy's over there.
This is a solid door, so you cannot see what is beyond it, with a glass storm door on the outside of it. About 45 minutes into the show, they're talking about the ongoing manhunt for this crazy guy, and bam, 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 front door bangs like crazy.
It's not a break-in. It's even worse.
We jump the fuck up and scream.
Actually, I'm not even sure. This actually might not be bad if it's like he's trying to hide in there. It will get bad if he tries to kill him, like when they figure it out. That's where I think it's gonna take a bad turn.
Like banshees. Dead silence now. The only lights on in the house are the kitchen down the hall from the common room we are in, and the light from the TV. We start thinking something on the porch. We had planters and a rocking chair out there. Had simply blown against the door. This was West Texas. Crazy strong winds out that way. Well, a minute of silence and us holding each other post-adrenaline overdose passes. Just when we're about to declare everything is safe, we hear the storm door on the outside of our front door close. Fuck. Someone had to open that door to be able to bang on the front door like that. We were both frozen in the middle of the room on the floor where we had been watching TV. My sister crawls over to the TV and turns it off. It was an old TV, so you had to turn that metal dial to switch it off, which made a mildly loud thunk. Now it's just us in a room dimly lit by the kitchen light down the hall. I do not remember how much time passed with me frozen and my sister still crouched by the now off TV, but we kept making eye contact and then looking at the front door. I remember this part vividly. We hear and I see the back door knob turn. It was locked on the knob, but not deadbolted. It rattles slightly as if someone is gently trying the handle. Neither of us make a sound. We even held our breath. Then bam, 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 bam! Loud as hell, someone is trying to force the door open just by jerking it back and forth. The whole wall of windows is vibrating violently. My sister flips her shit and screams bloody murder. I'm still frozen on the floor.
Oh my god. You killed yourself. At that point, you killed yourself.
She gets up and basically drags me into her bedroom, slams the door, throws her mattress and anything she can in front of it. Thankfully, she had remembered the phone, one of those ungodly heavy, beige, plastic, long metal antenna portable phones. We still had to direct dial the sheriff there, and in her panic didn't remember the number. She just hit redial on the phone. It was one of her friends, and she tells them in broken gasps that someone is trying to get into our house and needs to get there right fucking now. The profanity sticks out here more than anything else. Who knows? Young brain. I am curled up on the floor and cannot stop shaking. We don't hear anything else until we see the headlights of my sister's friends and her parents driving up to the house. We did not find out who was at the door or why. There were no signs of anything happening, but a couple of scuff marks on the bottom of the back door that we could not remember if they were there beforehand or not. Nothing like this has happened to me or her since, but for damn sure we never forgot to lock the door after that. Number 10. About 4 years ago, I was sleeping and woke up randomly.
No, I can't. No, can't watch this one. This one looks good. Dude, that picture though. Oh, this is number 9. This is the last one. Thank God. So I told you earlier that we'd skip 2. Thank God I saved that one. Yes, dude. I didn't want to stare at that photo for that long. I really didn't. Okay, around here.
She was gone. Number 9.
Okay. So this'll be the last one. Thank God. That one before wasn't that bad, I'm gonna be honest. I thought it'd be worse. This guy looks like he's about to. Why does he have 2 ties? Why? Why does he have 2 ties on? He looks ridiculous. He's got like 2 ties on at once. What the heck are you doing, sir? Okay, I can tell this one's gonna be a little creepy. I can tell this is, since it's on number 9. Oh my God, I just realized it's going from 15. It's a top. Oh, so this one's gonna be one of the worst. We're gonna still watch it. Come on.
Me and my friends were driving home from a show we all went to. This was about 7 years ago or so in the Cerritos area. There's an elementary school there, I think on 186th. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, we drove by a local elementary school, all of us joking and laughing or whatever 16-year-olds do, and my friend's girlfriend looks over at the playground in the school, screamed, and refused to talk to anyone for a few hours. We asked her what was wrong, what she saw, what happened, but nothing would make her tell us. We all thought she saw someone on the playground or a dead body or something. All of us knew that she was seriously spooked. As backstory, I should add
I just wanted to see if that'd work.
that she's sensitive to paranormal happenings. I should also add that I don't really believe in ghosts or the like, but whatever. She would have doors fly open at her old house, clothes hangers fly off the rail, cups fall over and then right themselves multiple times. Just crazy shit. Anyway, she eventually told her boyfriend what she had seen. She said she had briefly seen a bunch of blood-covered people walking around the playground aimlessly. I immediately started blaming exhaustion, as it was around 2 a.m. when we drove by. We looked it up later, and it turns out a plane had crashed into the school in the late 80s, and a lot of people had died. Number 8. I worked in a nursing home.
It didn't switch to 8. It's still number 9. Is it gonna go to 7? Dude, I don't. Okay, that's a little creepy. That one's really creepy. So number 8. Are we gonna? Does it go to 7? Maybe it says in the description. If it goes to 7, I'm not gonna watch that one. Oh God, that's creepy. Okay, I'll try.
As an aide in the hospice unit. One night, I had 3 patients trying to die, and my job was to ensure that they were
What?
comfortable. The girls
That's
that worked the
retarded.
floor with me
Oh,
at night were
no.
awesome. We would always try to make each other laugh and get through the night as best as we could. I was known for scaring girls. Sometimes I'd hide in the closet of a room where someone had recently died. Their bodies and belongings were long gone in the empty room, and I'd press the call light and wait. The girls would come in and hastily shut it off, but I'd always jump out and scare the shit out of them. One night, I was in the nurse's station filling out a report since I had to give a patient some narcotics when an aide rushed in. She swore that she saw my shadow on the wall as if I was hiding, trying to scare her, but then she heard me laugh in the nurse's station. I decided to check it out since there wasn't supposed to be anyone on that floor. As I walked over to the wall, I stood where the light would have.
Come on. Come on. Come on, guys. If you made it to this part, you know how I said skunky earlier? Say plus skunky in the comments if you get to this part. Then you're a real skunk.
Have created my shadow, and there was nothing. I laughed it off until the CNA started shrieking, and I turned around, and a shadow
Dude, I really...
seamlessly rose up to the wall from the ground out of nothing. I just stared at it and said, "Oh, for heaven's sakes, is that the best you got?" and walked back to the nursing station. A while later, I had to do rounds. As I walked towards a patient's room, I heard 3 knocks on the door that led outside to the patio by their room, and I saw an older gentleman dressed in all black. I couldn't let him in because I didn't have
Is that supposed to be this guy? Because then that's number... Then this number's wrong.
the access code, so I told him to hold on for a moment and I would get the nurse to let him in. When she and I returned to the door, he was gone. She went outside and we couldn't find him, so I continued to the patient's room to check on him. Blood everywhere, and the patient is on the floor bleeding.
Hi, recording.
He had tried to get up, it appears, and flopped around a bit in his blood trying to get up. The nurse lifted him back into the bed and we cleaned him up. There was nothing else we could do as he was DNR besides make sure he was comfortable. I went to my next patient's room and bam, dead. He had suddenly stopped breathing. I rushed to get the nurse and pulled his file. DNR also. We called the morgue and his family while I cleaned his body with an aide. I go to check on the patient that fell. Vitals every 15 minutes for a non-witness fall, and he's dead. I get the nurse. She's frustrated because this takes 2 aides off her floor to care for the deceased and lots of paperwork for her. As I'm walking down the hall for linens, I see the old man I originally saw outside walking past the nurse's station, and he whispered, "One more, Jack Maya, then I'm done for the night. Just one more." I jumped because his whispers were so eerie, and I run to the direction he was going. A patient's room door slammed shut. When I ran in, she looked directly at me and took her last breath and died, her eyes still staring directly at me. For some reason, I remember her window being opened and how odd it was. I ran to the window and didn't see anything and slammed it shut. Checked the woman for a pulse and found nothing. The nurse had followed me and saw exactly what I saw and heard the voice whisper as I did. She was coming around the corner and swore she saw the man, then me jump up and run after him, and like me, saw the patient's room door slam shut before I could get in there. When I had turned around, I saw the nurse standing in the door, and she could only say, "I fucking saw it too. Oh my god, I fucking saw it too." Click here to watch part 2. The
Dude, all of a sudden this border came around and I was like, wait, what would happen if I... Oh, no, that's...
link is also in
Oh, okay, thank you. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to drop a like down below, and if you got to that part, you know what to put down. And yeah, guys, you guys know that 4 videos of Plague Inc. Creator will be coming out tomorrow. Make sure to check out his channel. The link will be in the description down below for this video, and the channel top 15s, and see ya. If I can click it. Okay, there.